All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Celtics live postgame. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about these preseason games, man, but they're feeling like legitimate games. Like I'm glued to my TV. I'm standing up watching that last second shot, hoping the refs wave it off and everything like that. And it's a preseason game. It's a preseason game. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'm glued to it. I love it. First game comes down to the wire. I love seeing everything that happens. Now, the second preseason game, we're in here and looking at it. I'm 2 inches from the TV. I love to see it, but the Celtics do take the 2-point win. 2-point win. That is a 113-111 dub over the Raptors. Everyone's checking in the stream. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new here. Make sure to hit that like button. And as always, cheers if you're drinking with me tonight on this fine Saturday victory night. No victory music yet. I see Birkin saying, where's the victory music? We're saving for the regular season, all right? No victory music yet. All right. I got to get to the chat. Let's get to the box score first. You guys know how we run it around here. We'll get to the chat. Let's see what we got here. So again, Celtics 113-111. Jason Tatum, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. If this was a legitimate game, like a regular season game that mattered, Jason Tatum's going for a triple-double here, right? Like, Jason Tatum had that in the bag. He had 10 third-quarter points, didn't, score in the fourth, I don't believe. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists from him. Al Horford, hey, guys, I don't know if you remember if we were saying it on the channel, and I see the chat flying. I'll catch up to it, I promise, guys. I was saying that Al Horford was brought in here to be a presence, not a player, right? 2 preseason games in, I really like what I see from him. Like, no doubt in my mind, he's going to be able to contribute on court to this team. Robert Williams, you see here, he didn't do too much. He had 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. He was a plus 22. Plus minus. And then some other noticeables. We gotta give it. Graham Williams, 12 points. He did have some sloppy play. He did have a really bad plus minus, but I still think he looked better than what we've seen before. Marcus Smart out there, 7 assists. That's our point guard, ladies and gentlemen. A 7-assist game, quiet night from him. 11 points from Pritchard. And Romeo Langford looked really good as well. 13 points. He was 3 of 4 from 3. I'm starting to just think that Romeo Langford can shoot. Like, I don't know what to say, right? Has he missed 1 3 this entire preseason? Something like that? I don't know. But let's get into the chat here. We got Gear saying, let's go. Lewis saying, W. Deshaun saying, yo. Lewis saying, Pritchard over Smart. 2 games in, Pritchard's looked really, really good. The one thing Pritchard will never have over Smart is that defensive ability and defensive intensity. But Peyton Pritchard, 2 games in now, has looked really good. He's looked like he shot the ball well. He took 7 threes tonight. I don't know if we love 7 threes from him. Hit 3 of them, so 43% from him. I don't know if we're ready to go out there and say, like, oh, you know, Pritchard's just way better than Smart yet, but I could see Pritchard working his way into, like, getting 25 minutes a night and moving Smart off ball, that type of thing. I don't know. Mike's checking in with the fire emojis. That's your trademark, Mike. I know that. Phil saying epic preseason classic. Gear saying, how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Cheers to everyone out there. We got it. Birkin saying, I said it for a month. Romeo Langford is 20. Romeo Langford looked good. Romeo Langford looked good, man. He did. Birkin saying, Jay Rich is Teague 2.0. Book it. The thing I'll say, I don't know why. You know, okay, so Richardson looked a little bit better, and you guys know that that's my guy, right? So I'm going to do my best to defend him here. That dude can play defense. He's there getting rebounds. He had 6 boards tonight, 7 rebounds. I get it. He doesn't look like he's gelling offensively, and that's my thing with him, that I want him to be a scorer. But I think Josh Richardson's getting he's getting a bad rap around here. Like, Josh Richardson is playing really good defense. He's getting rebounds, and he looked more involved today than he did on, what was it, Monday or whenever the last game was. So, like, that's progress. First year with the team, 2nd preseason game with the team. I'm not upset with Jay Rich after this game. I still want more out of him, but I'm not upset with him. Like, he didn't get worse from Monday. Jag saying 2nd straight epic preseason game, awesome win. Lewis saying Bruno GOAT. Tiffany saying good game. AC saying Bud Light. Hey, it's a preseason beer. Come on now. It's a preseason beer, and we got a bunch of them. I don't know if we'll do some, like, super chats for chugs or something tonight. You think that's worth it? I don't know. But yeah, we got preseason beer. We got Bud Light. Wong, he's saying those last few minutes were low-key disgusting. They were. They were like throwing the ball all over the place. That was terrible. Like terrible. Like Sam Hauser, whatever it is, like goes backcourt with whatever time is left, a couple minutes, like a minute left in the game. The dude goes backcourt. What are you doing? Oh, I don't know. We shouldn't be that, like, microscopic about it or zoning in so much into a preseason game. But these 2 preseason games have been great. Like, nothing short of great. I told the story on the podcast. We switched the podcast name. If you guys haven't checked out the Ev Singleton Show, make sure to go check it out. It's on the channel. But, like, I was golfing with my dad as I do on Wednesday nights. I see him once a week. And we're playing, and he goes, yeah, I fell asleep during that preseason game. I go, what? He goes, yeah, I was getting bored by it. I was like, how are you bored? This is the Magic game? I was like, that was like, somehow felt like a regular season game, and it was preseason. Now we've had 2 of those. 2 of those. Phil is saying cheers. Still is saying shout out to the chat all the way from Missouri. Shout out to you still. Lou is saying our young guys looking great. Yeah, hey, Romeo Langford looked really good, right? Grant Williams. The guy that I've loved. I've always backed Grant Williams and always defended Grant Williams. You guys know that, right? I've never said anything bad about him. He doesn't look bad. Now, he had a couple plays where, if you're like me and you're looking for the negatives of him, you'll notice. And he did have the worst plus minus, but 15 minutes out of Grant Williams and 12 points. Like, I don't care what your plus minus is. You won't see me complaining about him during the season, if that's what we're looking at. 15 minutes and 12 points, yeah, I'm fine with that. He only shot the ball, or he shot 4 threes, like, and made 2 of them. Like, I'm fine with that, man. Oh, man, I am. AC saying a lot of turnovers tonight. There were so many. It's inspired me to go to Duncan for Apple turnovers tomorrow a.m. Yeah, the turnover ratio to assist ratio, what do we got here? It was 29 to 23. So if we pop this back up, this is the assists right here, and then we got 23 turnovers down here. That's not really like, we can't be looking at that. Jason Tatum had 6 of those, but I think Jason Tatum had a good night, so I don't want to harp on the turnovers. But yeah, this team 2 games now, and it's still early with a brand new team, brand new coach, brand new everything. You don't want to see that assist to turnover ratio. At least they did have 29 assists tonight. They had like 19 the first game, so I guess that's good. Birkin saying Tatum's efficiency still not good enough. Still saying Marcus Smart looked good. Yeah, Marcus Smart looked like a point guard. When you don't notice Marcus Smart on the offensive end, that's him playing really, really well, right? Like when Marcus Smart's not doing too much and you don't notice him, that's when Marcus Smart's playing well. He had a couple really nice layups and took a couple threes when he needed to take the threes. But other than that, Marcus Smart didn't try and do too much. He didn't go out of his way and step on his own feet or trip over him, wherever the hell the saying is. Marcus Smart had a damn good game, and it's promising because it's similar to that Josh Richardson take of mine. Marcus Smart is looking better as he's embracing a new role. Josh Richardson's looking a little bit better, so I'm not upset about him as of right now. Guys, I will say, if you are enjoying the show and you do want to support me, I gotta say it. If you do want to send a super chat, make sure to do so. I will be chugging. I guess I'll chug for the amount of seconds of dollars, if that makes sense. So we will do some chugs for super chats tonight, but obviously nothing required. It's just most appreciated. When you do, you get the shout out on the screen and everything like that. So if you guys feel generous tonight on the Celtics one, make sure that's a super chat button and subscribe button. Let's see. Still saying Celtics over Knicks. Yeah, I think we got a Celtics over Knicks. Like, I feel like the Knicks proved a lot of people wrong last year. I still want to see that out of them this year, but I know we have a lot of comments on the channel of the Knicks, just like fans being like, oh, the Knicks are so much better. It's like, okay, if the season rolls around and the Knicks and Celtics are battling for a 4 or 5 seed, whatever it is, fine. Like, I get that, but you're in no position as Knicks fans to be like, oh, hook, line, and sinker. It's a final deal, done deal. Put it in pen, not pencil, that the Knicks are better than the Celtics. Like, that isn't true. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit annoying. When we see that all the time. I think the Celtics are far better than the Knicks. I think they're deep, and they just have better top-end talent. Phil says, time for Time Lord to wake up. Yeah, I mean, he had 0 points a game. He looked a little bit more engaged, and again, 22 plus minus. I know the plus minuses for the nerds and all that, but like 22 plus minus, leading the way, plus minus is like a plus 20 after 2 quarters or something. I can't really knock that. Like, what do you want me to say? You know what I mean? He clearly the team was playing well when he was out there, so I can't totally knock him. B Smooth is checking in. What is going on, B? AC saying Neesmith can shoot, but when he drives to the basket, he's going to be huge plus. Yeah, and I said on the last stream, right? Like, one of my things was I want Nesmith to be an offensive threat. That doesn't mean just a catch and shoot guy. I want him to be an offensive threat. That's what I'm looking for. That would be huge for this team. Phil saying, I know Time Lord needs to score. He does need to score. Like he didn't even shoot tonight. I don't know if I like that. Like, get the ball inside and maybe make something happen. He's super athletic, but I'm not going to complain about a guy that, isn't fully in the rhythm of things just 2 preseason games into the year when he's a total preseason or rhythm type player. Like, Time Lord is based on rhythm, right? You're not just going to throw him in cold and he's not going to jump to the moon. So I don't hate the fact that, he's not in rhythm yet because it's only 2 preseason games in. Let's see. Jockin's saying 7 assists for Tatum, negated by 6 turnovers. Yeah, I mean, I will say you like that assist number. The turnover number is obviously terrible, but Tatum looked like he had his head up. He was making passes. I think we can take that as a positive. Can definitely say that, man, it kind of sucks that that we see 6 turnovers, because that ain't it. Like, that Tatum can't have 6 turnovers. Superstars don't have 6 turnovers. They're gonna have 6 turnover games for damn sure. But let's try and mitigate that. Like, if he had a 2 or 1 turnover game with 7 assists, that's looking a whole lot better. It is. All right. Catching up on chat here. AC says, Ella says she misses Taco and loves Pritchard. She says he can shoot the 3 ball. Man, can Pritchard shoot. Pritchard is the best catch and shoot shooter on this team. But I think I said it either on the podcast or on last stream. It's that Pritchard as a point guard isn't going to have that same, opportunity, right? He's not going to have that same opportunity to get catch and shoot opportunities. Like, Peyton Pritchard's supposed to be a guy that's going to set up shots for other people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, if Pritchard's the shooter of that second unit or the shooter of the bench, I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, Pritchard should be running the offense. And we need, like, a guy like, Langford. We need a guy like, Nesmith, right? Like, it doesn't even, one of these young guys to step up, and Nesmith showed a little bit of it, but I don't know about Pritchard being that shooter. I want him to be the run the offense type guy. Unless he's in the game with Tatum, or unless he's in the game with, Marcus Smart or any ball handler like that, Jaylen Brown. Shout out to PJ Gear, the main man around here. He donated $4.99. He said, start chugging those Bud Lights. All right. We won't get too carried away, but we will do, a count. We'll do $4.99. We'll round up because I'm a nice guy, PJ. We'll go 5 seconds ish. Wow, how about that pour, huh? Wow, way to go, Have you ever had a beer before? That's going to be tough. All right, we'll chug out of this, and then we'll do that. Do you guys remember the stream last year where people were, like, hitting the like button and trying to get me drunk? I felt completely violated. But, all right, let's do this. We got 5 seconds. Shout out to Gear. Thank you very much for that $5. Or $4.99. But, I round up around here. I don't know how many seconds it was, but we finished it. All right, we got to catch up on the chat here. Oh, that's so cold. I love a cold beer, but that just hurt my throat. Let's see. GG says, what about when Marcus Smart inbounded the ball to the other team? That's not a bad point. I mean, it's not a bad point. I'm sitting here saying he looked good as the point guard. The dude couldn't even inbound it one time, and, like, it was so sloppy. That was so lazy. So, noted. I'll give you that, MRGG. Phil says JT could have had a triple-double. 1,000,000% could have. Evan saying, what is up? What is going on, Evan? R is saying, how's everyone doing? Hey, everyone. Lenz is saying, is Nesmith following the JB course? Wouldn't that be something? That'd be pretty amazing if Nesmith turns into a Jaylen Brown type player. And what I mean by that, and I hope what you mean by that, because that's what I'm thinking, is that a guy that kind of, out of nowhere just takes his absolute leap and fixes all things I was wrong about his game. Because I've said it before, I've said it multiple times, that my biggest thing that I get impressed with Jaylen Brown is the fact that he just can admit what he's bad at in an offseason. Then all of a sudden, he's like, you know what? I'm going to make this better. And I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go and work on it in the offseason, and all of a sudden he comes back and being able to do it. It's crazy because it's like, can't shoot. Then he goes and is able to shoot. Can't dribble, can dribble. Can't run a fast break, can run a fast break. Like, Jaylen Brown is the epitome of a guy that was sort of like, says, hey, Hand up, I suck at this. I'm going to go fix it, though. Killa says, imagine being the guy who said Al was washed. There was someone harping on that in the pregame show. I don't know if anyone was tuned into that. I think you were, Killa. There was someone saying he was washed. Wangi says, was anyone else thinking, imagine if we had Tice instead of Cantor? I would like Tice on this team. Cantor actually looked better than he did last night, to me. Or last game. Tiffany saying Neesmith and Romeo looked good. Yeah, Romeo especially, 100%. AC says, if I donate again, can you upgrade to Boom Sauce? How about this, AC? I had plenty of Boom Sauce yesterday. I was at Lord Hobo Brewery, and I had plenty of Boom Sauce. But yes, that is, Boom Sauce has to be top 2, top 3 beers for me. It's probably my favorite IPA or double IPA or whatever. I love Boom Sauce. So yes, I can 100% upgrade to Boom Sauce. It's my favorite beer. That'd be pretty damn easy. Let's see. Duffy's saying Romeo is blossoming right in front of our eyes. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like, all of a sudden, I'm seeing him with the ball, and I'm not like, oh, crap. Oh, man, something bad's going to happen. The one thing I'll say, and I don't think that I'm wrong saying this, can we count on Romeo Langford to stay on the court? He looks good when he's on the court. Can we count on him to stay on the court? Because he hasn't proved that yet, right? So I pray that Romeo Langford can, because he looks like he is freaking potential filled. Wow. Gear says he super chatted for Romeo. General saying, how about that block from Grant? Hey, Mr. Womp Womp, that Womp Womp, if Grant keeps playing like this, as much as it's gonna kill me, that Womp's gonna be like a celebratory Womp. It's gonna be a celebration when we do it. Seriously. Len says, I love JB has improved his game every single year. Exactly. That's what it is. That's the special thing about JB. I think that Jalen, obviously, like, you love what he is now, and I really want him to take that sort of leap into, he's a shoo-in for an all-star every single year. Obviously, he was last year. I want him to be that, like, oh, yeah, every team knows that he's just an automatic all-star. That'd be huge for the team. And I've said it over and over again when I'm talking with my buddies or I'm on YouTube, right? A leap for Jaylen Brown will do way more than another leap for Jason Tatum. What's Jason Tatum going to go from the 11th best player in the league to the 9th, 8th, whatever? That'll be awesome for the team. But Jaylen Brown going from like a 20th, top 25 type player to a 16, 15, 14 type player could do wonders for this squad. All right, there's something interesting here. Gear says, Udoka said the Celtics are purposely putting Peyton Pritchard deep behind the arc. He said we call them 4-point shots. The guy who can shoot with that range, we want to space them out that far. That's so interesting because we see that Pritchard can handle that range, right? Like, there's no doubt about it. And it's interesting to me because do they really, like, what do you guys think? Do you really think that that's, like, strategic to have him 4 feet from the, like, does that much space? It probably is. Like, I think it probably is, but I don't know if that's like, is Pritchard just as good of a shooter 5 feet behind the arc as he is, like, toe to the line? I don't know. That's such like that's almost like, I don't know. See, this is the weird thing. If Brad Stevens were to say that or Brad Stevens were to do that, I think we'd all be on here and be like, oh, he's overthinking and he's trying to be too much as an X's and O's guy. We have a new coach that says, and it's kind of like, oh, look at this guy. He's thinking a little bit ahead of things. He's thinking smarter than the rest of the league and stuff. I don't know if putting a guy behind the line 5 feet adds additional spacing because, like, the defender's going to be in the same place no matter what. You know what I mean? Like if a defender's covering Pritchard at the 3-point line, he's not going to go 5-6 feet behind the line. But if that's a real thing and Pritchard's knocking him down, then okay. The only thing is, I like that you say, Gear, that Udoka says we call them 4-point shots. Until that's a rule, they still count as 3. But it does open it up, I guess. Like, maybe, 6 feet's not that, like 6 feet, 5 feet. It's a decent amount. I don't know. Killa says Rob continues to look underwhelming, unfortunately, and Richardson doesn't look worth the Moses Brown. I feel like we fumbled the future. I see. So you can't really deny what you're saying, Killa, but I will say, like, we didn't see even Moses do anything for the team, and Robert Williams, we have seen what he does for the team. I think people are sleeping on Josh Richardson's defense. Like, when I watched that game back the second time, that first game, and as I probably will notice watching it back tomorrow, this game, Josh Richardson's, like, involved there. He's making good defensive plays, getting his hands on balls. He had 6, what was it? Let me get the box score up again. Josh Richardson had 6 rebounds tonight, 7 points. Like, he doesn't look as bad as he did in game 1, and that I take as sort of a step up. You know, that's where I am at with him. AC says Romeo's best attribute is his perimeter defense, but if he scores, it will be hard to keep him off the floor. Yeah, I mean, he can play D because he's got, what does he have, like a 7'2" wingspan, right? If Romeo Langford can shoot like that, like I don't see how they can't play him. Like Romeo, so Nesmith looked better last game, right? I think Nesmith had a great run. Like that fourth quarter for Nesmith was really, really great. Romeo Langford played almost 20 minutes tonight. Like, that's not really heard of from Romeo. You know what I mean? And before we even get on to any other subjects, I do want to look at sort of the rotation here. Romeo Langford, 20 minutes. Some of the interesting things here was that Juancho, you know, it ends up looking like he played 9 minutes. He barely played anything. Like, he played in the fourth quarter garbage time, which is interesting. He started the first game. Cantor, 15 points. I'm kind of looking at this area of the box score here. We saw Jabari and Juancho come in, and the one thing I'll say, and actually I do see some Jabari in the chat here. So AC is talking about, can he make a comeback? The thing that I'll say about Jabari Parker and Juancho Hernan-Gomez in those garbage time minutes is those two guys look so much better. Like, you know, when you can watch garbage time, you're like, that guy's got something. Juancho and Jabari are above garbage time, in my opinion. But for whatever reason, you know, I can't say it about Juancho because he's new and he started, you know, half the games that he's played here. It's only been 2, but he started. Jabari, I don't see why he doesn't get a shot. We talked about it after the post game, last game as well, but like, Jabari, I get it. He has his limitations on defense. Sometimes he looks lazy, but if Jabari gets into the rhythm of a game, the dude's a bucket. And he looked head and shoulders better and more collected than so many guys that were out there tonight. 100%. Like 100%. So I don't get why he never gets the opportunity. Like, I don't see that. And it's weird because it was Brad Stevens last year, and it's a new coach this year, and it's the same story 2 preseason games in. So I wonder what, I don't know. I wonder how that works out, I guess, you know? I don't know. I just got a text from a buddy. I don't know if this is... So he's saying every $10 on the stream, a shotgun. I don't know if I'm feeling shotgun tonight, especially for a preseason game. But that could be a season thing. I could do... No, I'm not going to say it. I was about to tell you guys, I could do one tonight, but I don't think shotgun's in the cards. All right, catching up in the chat here. Let's see. Oh, I lost my place. Gear says, even on a bad shooting night, if Romeo can even play good defense while driving and getting to the line, he could be very good this year. Yeah. What Romeo's done is, he just looks like a guy that can actually play. Like, looks like a guy that can handle being an NBA player, which we haven't seen in a while. All right, here we go. AC says, can Jabari Parker make a comeback? I kept asking myself, how can a guy be a 20-point scorer just 3 years ago and turn into a garbage time player at 26? Because I just don't get is he that bad? Do we think Jabari Parker is that bad on defense? Like, that's what it is. Like, no one can rag on Jabari's offense. He looks smooth. Like, obviously, no, you're not going to make every shot, but is Jabari Parker that bad on defense? Like, why isn't Jabari Parker at least playing, you know, like tonight, 12 minutes, right? But that was all garbage time. Is Jabari Parker that bad on defense that he can't get minutes? Because we saw it last year, and it's a new coach this year. We're 2 preseason games in. We're seeing the same exact thing. He didn't even play last game, right? He checks in and makes a nice pass, I think, to Cantor right away when he got in today. He had a couple big-time clutch buckets. He made, you know, a couple foul shots. Then Juancho made a couple foul shots. Like, is Jabari that bad at defense? That's what's puzzling to me, really. Guys, if you're still tuned in here, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new. We're here live after every single Celtics game, and make sure to hit that like button as well. How many likes are we up to here? I always forget to say that stuff. I always forget to plug it. Forget to plug the super chat, the subscribe, the like, because I can't get on here, and we're talking Celtics. Well, what am I plugging for, right? All right, we're at 22 likes. Let's see if we can get to... See if we can get to 30 likes this stream. Let's see. Killa says, let's see. Jabari played so bad. He got 4 fouls in 9 minutes. So, yeah, no, and again, I think that rant that I just kind of went on to, like, is that the defense that makes him so bad? Like, is it because of that he can't even play outside of garbage time? I don't want anyone to get me wrong here that I'm saying, like, Jabari Parker could defend a board in the NBA, right? Like, he is a almost like a walking opposite bucket of someone on him, but you know, it's not like that happens every single time. Like, can this guy just get an opportunity? 12 minutes tonight, 7 points, you know, +3, ±, 2 of 5, 1 of 1, you know, 2 of 2. Like, the guy didn't play that bad box score wise. Defensively, I get it. Like, if this is a defensive box score, it'd be like, oh, he probably scored a bunch on him. But to me, it's like, give him a shot. You know, if Grant Williams is going to be playing 15 minutes and playing in the first quarter, Jabari Parker should be as well, you know, from night to night. Killa says Juancho was dope. Jabari was playing too fast, couldn't defend without fouling. Juancho was like and again, the way that I'll say it is Juancho looked like he was better than those garbage time guys. You know, like, and he's so good. Like, he's so good at cutting to the basket without the ball. When they traded for him, you know, I obviously didn't know too much about him. Like I've heard his name and watched him sometimes, but in that video where we reacted to his highlights, you guys can go check it out. I was like, oh, look at this. Like, he's just moving off the ball. And then I listened to his media day press conferences and interviews and whatnot, and he was talking about how that's something he thinks he can add to the team. So far, like, I've seen that. Like, he looks to cut. There's a couple times, if you watch that garbage time back too, like Sam Hauser has it in, like, the short corner, then he gets it on the elbow. Juancho cuts a couple times. There was one where Bruno Fernando had it on the left wing, and Juancho went backdoor on his guy. Like, he is a really, really good off-ball type player. A-Dab says, how we feeling about our bench unit? I'll tell you what, and I don't know if anyone can deny this, but I feel a hell of a lot better than I did last year. And even if you take the lineup you had tonight, so you lose a guy like Schroeder, right? You lose a guy like Schroeder, you obviously don't have Jaylen Brown, so now you start Romeo. Like, that bench unit still looked good today. Like, you bring in, and again, I don't think many people like him, I guess, but I like seeing Josh Richardson. Grant Williams played well. Peyton Pritchard's being more and more consistent. Like, this team's bench is so much better than last year. And it's funny because you have a couple guys that you can still play, you know, that were on the team last year. Grant Williams, Aaron Nesmith, Romeo Langford. Like, these guys were the ones that we would probably rag on last year from the bench. They're playing better now. So there's step one. Step two is now, with a healthy team, you're bringing names like Al Horford, Dennis Schroeder, Josh Richardson off the bench. Like, you have veterans coming off the bench, and then throw in the fact that you have guys last year that were coming in off the bench and another year added to their sort of, you know, NBA resume, and they're playing better and better and better. This bench unit, to answer your question, A-Dabs, is so much better than they were. Like, this Celtics team actually, if they're healthy, can be deep. Like, I don't want to say that we can totally rely on what we've seen from Romeo or totally rely on what we've seen from Mr. Womp Womp, right? But what we've seen so far, if we're basing that on the sample size, then hell yeah, this bench looks great. Tiffany saying Jabari doesn't play enough to get into a routine. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, why don't they just play him? KJ says, Ev told me if someone ever donates 100, he'll call in sick to work for the stream the next 24 hours straight. Yikes. AC says, looking at the division, every team has some threats on their roster. Could be the best division in the NBA. I mean, when you have especially just with one team, you know, maybe they won't have all their players. I don't want to get into any talk about, you know, politics or vaccine. That's not what I'm looking for here. But if one team has all their players, that's immediately one of the best divisions in the NBA, and it's just one team that's driving that too. AC says, I smell like GoFundMe. Evan saying Romeo actually played. I think Romeo played really well. Like, Romeo Langford was a +9, ± 13 points. He shot 75% from 3. He took 6 shots, made 5 of them. And there was that fast break where he got the rebound, and he's so long. When he jumps and uses his wingspan, he's so long. He gets that ball, and he just goes, and he beats everyone down the court, and then scores on presses a choo-choo train, whatever his name is. Like, Romeo Langford looked like an NBA player there. And I'm not ragging on Romeo Langford in saying this. We haven't seen Romeo Langford look like much of an NBA player prior to this year. You know what I mean? And that maybe that's because he hasn't been on the court. Maybe that's because, like, he's always injured, right, type of thing. But Romeo Langford looks good. I don't think that I can deny that. Like, Romeo Langford has looked very, very good. 100%. All right, let's keep rolling with the chat here. We're keeping up with chat tonight. Maybe this is what it is. It's my like my medicine that I gotta take. The more beers I have, the better I am at reading chat. It's probably because I'm just absolutely not even reading them correctly, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna act like I know what that says. Again, you want to see me shove beer down my throat? Super chat. That sounds super vulgar. So I want to look at this. Look, let's pull this back up. If you look at this box score, right? And you look at, I'm not saying that this is, something that they can expect every single night, but Enes Kanter played 15 minutes. Not the best, he missed a couple bunnies, if I'm being completely honest. The dude had 10 rebounds, but they were a 60-40 split, offensive and defensive. Enes Kanter single-handedly provided 50% of the second chance opportunities for the Celtics with that offensive rebound. And I see Phil right on time saying 10 boards for Kanter. That's kind of crazy. They had 8 offensive rebounds. Kanter had 4 of them in 15 minutes. And I've said over and over again, I don't want to make this like a Kanter show, but Enes Kanter is good to have on this team because he's like a tool you can use. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be the guy that you're going to constantly play, or he's going to be your go-to big man. No, Enes Kanter is going to be a tool that they can use when they need him, and he's going to look bad at times. We know that. Let's see. AC says, I found myself saying repeatedly during the game, man, I'm glad the Celtics are back. Me too. Somehow I am glued to preseason games, man. Like, you could tell how fired up I am. We're like, I don't know, we're a 6-pack deep on a preseason game. It is a Saturday, so that's definitely a contributing factor here. I wasn't doing this on Monday, but hey, preseason games, I'm loving it so far. The Celtics are back, and I'm loving it. And Jay says Choo Choo Train. I know his name's Precious at Choo Choo Train, right? That's what his name is. I know it's Precious Achua. Ben saying, Ben from London, you're right. The bench can hold its own this season. And especially, like, even if Aaron Nesmith and Romeo Langford and Grant Williams all stunk, your bench is still Josh Richardson, or Dennis Schroeder, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, like Juancho Hernan Gomez. Like, this bench is already better than last year. You throw in the fact, and I don't want to seem like a broken record, but you throw in the fact that you now have a team that, you can pluck from the guys last year that were on the team and that we used to rag on and get mad about, not naming any names. But you play a guy like that, or, some of the guys, Romeo Langford, Aaron Nesmith, those guys that now take a step up. It's like, wow, we didn't even have to go get these guys. Our bench got better naturally, but then they didn't just rely on that. Brad Stevens still went out and aided to the bench. And I will say, I feel like we talked about it on a podcast once, but just getting into it too, I know this isn't totally like this game related and whatnot, but we're just kind of winging it here. How crazy is it that Brad Stevens comes in day one and just completely trade. Everyone, including myself, was worried that, is he really a GM, or is he just going to be a Danny Ainge disciple and do everything that Danny did, so on and so forth, right? Brad Stevens, I almost think, proved that he wasn't content with the team that he had. He let guys walk, Kemba traded, lets Fournier walk, lets Semi walk. Brad Stevens, at least he's trying out here. And I like to see it because we soured on him as the coach. But damn, Brad Stevens, the GM, definitely stepped up. Guys, we need one more like for 30 likes. Let's see if we can get that. AC saying, why can't we see Garrison Matthews? Yeah, it's weird. You play Ryan, Arch and Arky's Gymnomenos. You play him, Arcanato or whatever his name is. And he didn't look like anything special, and I'm not saying that either of these guys are going to be, influential to the team. Same with Sam Hauser, right? He's already on the two-way contract. You're not going to play Garrison Matthews? He actually has NBA experience and everything like that. So I'm kind of bummed to not see him, but I don't know. We will see. And I know that we haven't. I don't know if Morgan's still injured. Theo Pinson, I don't really know what's going on with him. I know he's like a cheerleader on the sideline, but I want to see Garrison Matthews. The guy has shot really well. We have the reaction video. If you guys want to check that out on the channel, where, you know, when they ended up signing him, I was excited about it, because if he were to work out, now this is prior to seeing Nesmith, Langford, Pritchard play well, right, in this preseason. I was saying that the Celtics really didn't address the shooter need in the offseason, right? Like they addressed a lot of things, their depth, you know, spacing the floor, getting back Al Horford, veteran leadership, all this stuff they definitely addressed. They didn't really address that they don't have many shooters on the team to begin with, never mind on the bench specifically. And when they got Garrison Matthews, I said, you know what? I'm not saying that he's going to work out, but could he be the shooter that this team needs? Because they don't have that specific shooter. The fact that they're not really playing him or giving him a shot tells me he's probably not even going to be on the roster or anything like that. Like, I wish that we'd give him a chance, because, again, he's an NBA player. Like, he's played multiple seasons in Washington. I don't know what he averaged, like 6-7 points. Like, it's not like he's just some scrub. Like, he's better than some of the guys that played tonight, I guess. But maybe they just don't envision him being part of this team. So why are they going to work on him, right? I don't know, but I would like to see that. But then all of a sudden we see Romeo Langford, who looks like he's the new shooter of this team. We see Aaron Nesmith playing well. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that much of a void tonight. But it's still like to see. Like, the Celtics shot 48% from 3 tonight, and they shot 43s, guys. 43s, and they're 48%. Let's see. Phil says, yeah, hopefully we see more of the new guys next game. Yeah, I want them to keep mixing it up, but I also want them to cement that rotation. Donovan's saying we got 17 million TPE for Fournier. Yeah, that's true as well. So Brad Stevens to me is like an A in this offseason, 100%. Phil's saying we got 31 liked. Is that right? Ah, so we just closed up shop now? We hit the goal. Don't know why I'm setting goals if I'm just like, all right, cool. I thank you very much for the like sign. If you guys are still watching and you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like this video. And send me, I know I don't have to tell Gear this because he's always doing it and it's awesome. But if you guys have video ideas or anything like that for the YouTube that you want to see, stuff like that, like we got a lot of things in the work. But make sure you DM me at FGuyBoston on Twitter. And we can definitely, you know, brainstorm some ideas and whatnot. And one thing I do want to do, and not for this, because you guys know I've struggled for a couple of years now trying to figure out how we can do the live bring-ons with the post-game show. But one thing I want to start doing now that we've rebranded the podcast and everything like that, I want to start having like a follower of the week or something come on for like 5 to 10 minutes and talk Celtics on the podcast, do a segment with them. So would you guys be interested in that? I can't imagine you saying no. But I think that'd be super, super interesting to talk to some of you guys on a podcast segment. It wouldn't be live. It would be pre-recorded, obviously, and then published to the YouTube and Apple and Spotify. But that's something that I'm working on as well in the background here. Let's see. Irsa says we have so many big, but we only have Al who can shoot the 3. Yeah, they don't have the stretch the floor bigs whatsoever. And the one thing I'll say, too, is I really like this big man unit. Horford, Cantor, and Robert Williams. I like that. But tonight, you started both Robert Williams and Horford, right? You do put yourself in a situation of, well, what do we do now? Where do we go now, right? Like, like we started 2 of our guys. You're supposed to bounce back and forth and be able to play Robert Williams, play Al Horford, everything like that. I don't like the 2 big man lineup because I don't think you're deep enough at the center position, because as someone that likes Cantor, I think that he's a tool for the team and a situational player. You can't go and rely on him, and you're going to have to rely on him if you start Robert Williams and Al Horford. Dab saying we need a sniper. I totally agree. Back to the Garrison Matthews talk. Gear saying Washington did the same thing with him. They didn't play him much, even though he was good for them. I don't. Maybe he isn't much more than a shooter. I don't know. Phil saying Nesmith will be our sniper. Yeah, I think Nesmith. That's like when I was talking about the Garrison Matthews stuff. That was all prior to the Nesmith sort of looking good and Romeo looking good as well. Gear says, once you subscribe, be sure to click the bell so you guys get notified for videos, pre-game streams, and post-game streams. Yeah, guys, the pre-game this year, now, we've grinded. As some of you guys know, a lot of the names in here were here last year. The YouTube wasn't much. We transitioned over and started going hard on the YouTube. We've grinded our asses off. daily content in the offseason when there was nothing to talk about. I was waking up in the morning going, hey, what's going on down here? Plucking something out of my ass and saying, let's talk about it on the YouTube highlights, everything like that. We've grinded, and I'm so excited because that pregame show that we have with Jack and Sam, both two awesome guys. Jack founded Bannertown USA and Sam's right there with him. KJ, you guys all know him. He fills in for me here. He jumps on the pregame. Tim as well. Like, this is I'm glad to see that pregame now gaining a lot of traction here because they know so much. Like they do. Like I'm a dummy. I'm just willing to put myself out there as a dummy, and you guys can tell me how it is on the chat, and I'll respond to it and talk. Those guys, Jack, Sam, KJ, Tim, those guys know basketball. That pregame show, if you aren't tuning in to the pregame show, you're tuning into this. I mean, thank you very much, but make sure you're tuning into that too, because I'm the dummy. Those guys know basketball. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Back to that big man topic. AC says, can Bruno Fernando be anything? I mean, Bruno looked good. He was right there. So I said that Jabari and Juancho looked like they were head and shoulders above those garbage time guys, right? I think that Bruno was right there. He had a couple plays where he looked a little sloppy, but he could be good. The only issue to me is that I don't know what he does differently. Like, if you have 4 big men now, you know Robert Williams, Enes Kanter, and Al Horford all have these special skill sets, right? What's Bruno Fernando's what's his situational application? That makes sense? Like, why is he special? Or why does he get minutes? Because to me, it's like he's a guy that, Robert Williams, Enes Kanter, Al Horford, like, it's like they all cover type of stuff that he does, I guess. AC saying this is way better than Periscope. Yeah, it is. It's crazy how far this has come, and it's tough because obviously Twitter for the longest time, and still is obviously, but my main social media platform, that's where we've grown the most and everything like that. Like, we founded the site and everything off of that. If you aren't following me on there, it's at FGuyBoston. I think it keeps popping up on the screen here at some point. The one thing they'll say is, we were used to stream, and yeah, we'd pull a bunch of viewers at times and whatnot on Periscope. But man, we made a switch over to YouTube before Periscope went and shit its pants. And the YouTubes have been awesome. It's way more easy to consume this after the fact and everything. So I'm really glad we made the switch. And I can't thank you guys enough. Like the real ones, the guys that we've seen in the chat for forever. Like I can't thank you guys enough for how it was a seamless transition. All those names that we recognize from the Twitter, streaming on Twitter. All of a sudden we hop over to YouTube last year. People are like still here, so I love seeing that. Let's see. Raphael saying Goat Williams. Hey, you guys know I've been Grant Williams' #1 fan since day one. You guys know that. Let's see. Salim saying, what do you think about Sam Hauser and Ryan Arcidiacono? Well, I think that he should change his last name because that's a tough name to pronounce. But to me, they didn't look too great. Like they didn't look like anything. I feel like I want to see Hauser. I want to see any of these guys that they signed or have 2 ways now with do something because I do think that this team still needs a little bit more to be like a championship contender. I don't know if it's going to come by way of, Sam Hauser or Ryan Arcidiacono, but I didn't think they looked too great. I think that they came in, and I didn't really think that. We see C-Car subscribing to the channel. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for subscribing. Guys, if you want to pop up on the screen like that, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And you can also super chat as well. We are chugging for the amount of super chat dollars that we get, so we had to do it a little bit earlier. Thanks to Gear here. We'll replay it to give him a shout out. And just because I'm a good guy, Gear, I'll do it again because it popped up on the screen. I'm a man of integrity. All right, here we go. Phil says Grant can't Goat Williams with a 2-inch vertical. Hey, Grant got up today. Grant got up and dunked. Did you see that interview? They were talking to Grant Williams like, yeah, I can dunk now. I didn't know if he could. I don't know if that was a joke, but because he lost, whatever, it was 10 pounds, something like that, and he's still going. He's like, yeah, I can dunk now. And I couldn't tell if he was seriously, not able to dunk prior to. Let's see, Divine saying Bruno is the energy guy. Yeah, and they said that too. I was listening to Scal, listening to Mike. And they were saying how, before games, like, he's high-fiving people and dancing and everything like that. If he's a chemistry guy, I'm all in, because I think he's a chemistry guy that probably won't play much, but when he does play, like, he was that close to looking like one of those guys that I said, he's better than a garbage time. I'm not saying that he should start or be like a key role player, but he's better than a garbage time sort of look. And I wish that we were seeing a little bit more out of, you know what I mean? Like, even still, we see almost 6 minutes out of him tonight. Like, if I get it was a close game, and like I even said, these preseason games have seemed so real. So I guess, Udoka needs to as well, because he needs to get into the real coaching this team sort of vibe. But I'd like to see some of these guys. I want a rotation down pat by the time, I guess, the season starts. But I'd still love to see some of these guys like, Garrison Matthews or Bruno, stuff like that, get some minutes here to see what we got. Especially Jabari. Wangi says, rip to the Periscope parts. Those were great, huh? You know that the vibes are great in the stream when we even just turn it on and you see the hearts just flying. Yeah, I mean, totally. Wangi may have been. We got a few names in here, guys. Obviously, people earn their rights with the, the wrench or the moderator, whatever it is. You guys know the OGs here, but there's so many, like Wangi. I remember almost 2 years ago, Wangi originally won just randomly our Unleashed giveaway when we had that podcast going. It just recently switched over to the Evan Singleton show, but yeah, Wangi, like, it's crazy how you guys have loved the show and become part of the community. Like, I don't know how to legitimately say like how cool that is to me. You know what I mean? Gears shouting out the last episode number 115 of the Ev Singleton show. Yeah, guys, go check that out. We talk about Aaron Neesmith. We talk about Marcus Smart, and we get into Josh Richardson, because I'm still going to defend Josh Richardson. Tiffany says Grant played sloppy, still plays sloppy. Oh, 100%. Like, the one thing that I will say about Grant Williams is he's looking better, and you're obviously going to have bad sort of plus-minus nights, right? But Grant Williams, like, he still had the worst plus-minus night on the team. 15 minutes, 12 points, 50% from three. I love all that, but I still don't know if I'm, like, totally looking to get that. Like, do I want 12 points from Grant Williams? Do we want Grant Williams to be a 12-point-per-game scorer for this team? My answer is no. Like, I don't think we need or want Grant Williams to be a 12-point-per-game scorer. It's great that he is. Totally. But I don't know if I'm totally looking for, like, oh, yeah, no, I want him to be a double-digit scorer. Like, that I think is going to get you in trouble, because Grant Williams, fine. He's great, right? He plays great sometimes. Good sometimes. I'll give him that. I don't know if we want to rely on him for double digits. That's all I'm saying. AC saying Ev loves Grant Williams like the Celtics fans cheered for Kurt Rambis. Yeah, see, exactly. Same thing. No one was ever mad or did disliked Kurt Rambis, right? Gear is saying skinny Grant looks good. Like, he does. Grant looks a little bit more agile, but do you guys remember, when was it, like third quarter or something, he gets it on the post, trying to post up a guy and just totally lost the ball? It's kind of like, okay, well, you were looking good, and then you just did something boneheadedly stupid. I don't want Grant. I guess my point with Grant is that I'll take the good play out of him any day of the week. Like, I'm stupid if I don't like that, but I don't know if, like, I want to rely on that, one, and then two, I don't want Grant to start thinking that he can play out of his shoes and he can go do stuff that's, like, outside of him. No, like, keep doing you, and, you made threes tonight, and I love it, but, -9, 12 points, 3 boards, like, it wasn't like this game-changing play. Like, that 12 points would have come from elsewhere, but if he's going to have the open three, I feel like after 2 seasons of him shooting okay, I can't get mad about the open three from Grant. I can only dislike and get mad, I guess, about when he tries to do too much, puts the ball on the ground, tries to do a spin move, anything like that. That's, I guess, that's the difference. I'm okay with a Grant Williams taking the open three, because he has proved that to me. But him putting the ball on the ground, trying to do something special, I'm not a big fan of that. Adab saying Tatum got jacked. He's going for MVP the next 5 years. He looks like how many times did last year and the year before did we get mad about him going in and taking that floater, right? Like, no one's talked about this yet. I don't understand why. We've seen Tatum do that floater where he even shoots it from, like, down here. 3 years in a row. This year, we're 2 preseason games in, albeit I'm not going to act like it's the biggest sample size or it's proven that it's not the case, but Jason Tatum's taking it to guys. He's going at Precious Achiuwa. He's going at, like, he's playing strong, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. To your point, A-Dabs, that he goes, works out, gets stronger. Those shoulders are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is wild. I don't think it's a coincidence that Jason Tatum's playing more and more physical as he gets stronger, because those floaters we haven't really seen. We haven't seen those BS floaters. You know, that's how he's going to get to the line. If Jason Tatum can get to the line 10 times a game, this guy's a 30-point per game scorer. He averaged 27 last year and barely got to the line. You know what I mean? Get to the line, and then all of a sudden we're chill. Like, he's going 30 points. It is kind of crazy that, you know, he's a guy that should be shooting a massive amount of foul shots, and he just doesn't get to the line. Wongy saying that Unleashed T is super rare now. Wongy, I'll be honest, I don't even know if I have my original Unleashed T. Like, I think I do, but that thing's turned into like a work around the house type T. AC says if Grant is scoring 12 points a game, he's probably playing NBA Live with the rules turned off. Tony's saying I was hoping they would trade Grant. I mean, honestly, and this isn't me coming as a Grant Williams hater, because I've never hated Grant Williams. I've loved Grant Williams. I've always spoke highly of Grant Williams. You guys know that. The real ones know that. If Grant Williams keeps playing well, that's a trade piece, right? Like, that's a trade piece. If he keeps playing well, he could be a trade piece. Wongy says, do you think Brad is going to be in the crowd watching the games much? That's a good question, you know, because you have that sort of, this is an analogy I'll draw. NFL games, right? You have some offensive and defensive coordinators up in the box with like an overview and a box seat watching the game from above, and then you have some offensive and defensive coordinators on the field. I think Brad Stevens strikes me as more of the I'll watch from above type guy, but you know, it's not the same sort of, you know, impact to the game. Like, he's a GM. I could see him being down there and talking and being engaged with the game, not with the team, but like Danny Ainge was, right? Clapping, cheering them on. I could see that, but I also think if he was able to, like, if they could have, I think he's more of like a box seat type of guy rather than a courtside type guy. But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I will see. That is interesting because Danny Ainge was a let me be near the team, let me be, you know, in the mix type of GM. Brad Stevens, even as a coach, seemed like he wanted to be up in the box seats. You know what I mean? He wasn't calling a timeout the closer he got to the court. So I don't know. I'd be shocked if he was sort of like the Danny Ainge vibe there, but I wouldn't be shocked at the same time. I don't know. It would be interesting to see because doesn't he give you that sort of vibe of the, oh yeah, you know, I'll just, you know, sit back and build the team. And that's the same thing. Like, you don't see all GMs like Danny Ainge did sit courtside at home games, you know, sit there like, hell, Mark Cuban's a great example. The guy's an owner of a team and he's sitting there courtside and cheering on his team. I don't think that I would be too surprised if Brad Stevens was sort of a background type of a supporter of the team. But that being said, as I go down this road, the dude coached, so he clearly is a sideline familiar and comfortable. So maybe he will be on the sideline. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. All right, a couple chats here, and then I think we're going to start turning down the stream. I don't know. What do you guys think? We do have... We're starting to polish these. We got another beer left in us if you want, but I don't think we're going to be live for too much longer. We'll finish this last beer. If we get a super chat, we'll go and chug it. And if we get a $10 super chat, we will shotgun live on stream. $10, not 90. I'm not rounding up again. I did that for Gear because Gear's a real one. But yeah, if we get a $10 super chat, we will shotgun live on stream. But we'll have one more beer, and I think we'll call it a night. But a couple more chats here. We have Brian saying, I think Pritchard will have a better season than Nesmith. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. And I don't know, like, I've seen people say that, and it's like, oh, this is a hot take, whatever type of thing. I don't know if that is even a hot take, right? Like, I think Peyton Pritchard is genuinely, right now, a better NBA player than Nesmith. And I'm not saying that's like a long-term thing, or Pritchard is going to be better. I think Pritchard, we've already seen the best of Pritchard, and I think he's just going to develop into a way more consistent version of himself. Nesmith's the type of guy that's sort of the unknown. We don't know what we're going to get from him. But to me, I think Pritchard could be, I think the roles are big too. Like, I'm still pretty big on the Peyton Pritchard's going to play, you know, 20 minutes a night and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm totally sold there with Nesmith yet, But I kind of agree with you, Brian. And I don't think that's you're not slamming Neesmith there, right? Because I'm not. Like saying Pritchard's gonna have a better season than Neesmith is not a slight to Neesmith at all. Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna be the $10 super chat that gets a shotgun going? I don't know. Have we? We probably have. And if we have, I guess I just don't remember it because it was that stream that you guys completely exploited my drinking abilities last year. But I don't know if we've shotgun live on stream. All right, here we go. We got Phil saying, I can see Tatum really stepping up 30 and 7 and 6. Yeah, I mean, that's MVP territory, man. Tatum 30 points, and I think that's the easiest one. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. 7 rebounds going to be easy. That's 6 assists. I would love 30 points. If he just gets to the line, if he uses his muscle, if he uses his strength, like 30 points is so in Tatum's repertoire. The one thing that I'll say is you don't need 30 from Tatum, right? Like, that'd be great, but you don't need 30 from Tatum. Wongy says, Brad over an earpiece to Ime telling him to make a terrible challenge. Yeah, Brad Stevens would have the earpiece into Udoka being like, hey, take a timeout here. And Udoka's like, dude, it's 6 seconds into the game and we're on defense. And Udoka has to call up. He's like, hey, should we take a timeout? They're on a 10-0 run. And Brad Stevens is like, nah, do what I've done. Let this team play it out. I'm so glad they got a new coach and I know that's so like nitpicky, but it's been 2 preseason games and I haven't seen Udoka miss a timeout yet. Brad Stevens always did. AC says, I'm still not convinced Brad is in this job for the long haul. I'll be willing to bet he coaches again soon. Someone put Sam Presti on speed dial. Hey, I'll say this. AC, I was in that boat and I thought that 100%, right? But if I'm being completely honest, I don't know if we all expected Brad Stevens to be that good at it. Like, Brad Stevens is good at this job. Like, I thought that he would be a guy that wants to go back to coaching and everything like that. I was with you. Brad Stevens is pretty damn good so far at it. Like, he just goes out there. Uh-oh. A-Dabs, A-Dabs has come to play with some great comments, and I think we're on the same page here. I don't know. I hope this wasn't him making an enemy out of me. I said just a few minutes ago, I don't know if I'm ready for the shotgun, but, all right. These are freaking this is ice cold, too. Oh, man. All right, we'll get back to the chat. We got to do this. For anyone that doesn't know, because I know we got a lot of new viewers in here in the stream and whatnot, I will say, if you've looked on my Twitter or anything like that, like, I shotgun very quickly. But let's not make a habit of this, okay? Because as I'm getting older and everything like that, like, I used to be able to shotgun back in college and everything like that. Super, super easy. And, I've never really lost a shotgun race, but it's getting harder and harder. You pull that party trick out enough, all of a sudden you're at every party you're at, and they're like, hey, I haven't shotgun because it's cool how fast it goes, but yikes, here we go. Hey, it's a Saturday night. I don't mind doing this. Shout out to you, A-Dabs. Thank you for the $10. And let's do this. I've never really done it sitting down either. Let's stand up. All right, you guys got me? I'm not even in camera. All right, here we go. Deep breath in. Shotgun out. Woo! Little bit of foam. You guys didn't hear that burp, right? All right. You guys know I'm going to be battling that burp for 10 minutes, though. All right, back to the chat. I'm trying to find my place here. It gets all weirded up when we get a super chat there. But shout out to you, A-Dabs. I do appreciate the $10, and my stomach doesn't appreciate it though. Wongy saying surely one of the young guys has to have a solid season. Yeah, I mean if Neesmith, Langford, Grant, those guys don't have a solid season, the bench is going to be way, 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 way worse than we think. GG says, I see Brad Stevenson in the same light as I see Pat Riley. If things don't work out with the Udoka in the next few years, he could step back down and coach. I don't. Would you guys want would you guys want Brad Stevens back as a coach? I'd be so far, like, I don't want that whatsoever at all. Brad Stevens back as a coach, I'm no, I'm out. I don't want that. Brian saying, is the Celtics get Bradley Beal in the next year in free agent, it's over for the league. Yeah, especially that being Tatum's, one of his best friends in the league. Now, I will say, people that don't want Bradley Beal because he hasn't fit on the team and whatnot, I think you got to realize, to some degree, the NBA is just the most talent wins, right? The most talent wins, and it's kind of just a fact of the matter. Bradley Beal would be fine. Like that does put them to a championship caliber type team because he's Bradley Beal. But I see Levine in the chat too, coming from Phil. I'd love Levine. I know that he's up on his contract too, right? So maybe if they were to trade for him. But any of those guys, like, I get it. People want to split hairs with I don't know if you'd fit. I don't know if it'd be the best sort of move. I'm not sold on the idea of, oh, no, we have what we need. No, get another superstar on this team, especially if you can just sign him and you don't have to worry about giving assets up or trading. I'm so in on that. I'm catching up on chat now. 2 different comments. Lemon says, do it. And I picture you, Lemon, saying, like, do it, you wimp. And then we see A-Dabs, who did donate the $10. Again, thank you very much for A-Dabs for donating that. Says, just take it slow. Just chug it. No, man. Hey, if I say, donate the $10, which I appreciate. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate that. Like, I love doing the stream and everything like that. And if I say, hey, I'm $10 and I'll shotgun, I'm not chugging a beer. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be a shotgun 100%. So I do appreciate that, Dabs. Lemon says, do it. And then the next message is not bad. AC says 3.8 seconds. There was a little foam there, though, that I'm probably going to have to clean up off the rug now, though. It's tough. I used to be able to, I used to be able to roll back shotguns, but then it's like you do them enough, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's just a dreadful thing to do. But not bad, huh? Yeah, Phil says I would take Levine over Beal. I don't know if I would take him over Beal, but if you're looking at the age card, or I will say this, and I don't know if I'm totally like sold on this, but it's where my mind is now. I think Levine fits better with this team than Bradley Beal, because I picture this team at their best as Jason Tatum and as Jaylen Brown get better and better, them being able to run in transition all over teams. And Zach LaVine is an amazing transition player, and he can play the point guard if need be, whereas Bradley Beal is going to be that sort of wing player that maybe he won't fit as much. But either way, you're getting a superstar on your team in addition to the Jays, and you might be able to sign him without that is the path to the championship, I think. But this Celtics team, if this bench steps up, if you have one of these guys, Richardson, Schroeder, any of these guys kind of step up into a really great role, then all of a sudden you're going to be looking at a team that's like, oh wow, we were the 7th seed last year, and now all of a sudden we're like a top 4-3 team in the East. And it drives me nuts. Not to get off a tangent here, like this is where it's bad. I'm trying to hop off the stream, right? Like, we've been live for an hour plus, and I'm on here. I'm pouring myself another beer. I'm getting off into a tangent now, but I do love doing it, guys. The thing about the Sixers, right? Every single site is like, oh, the Sixers are better than the Celtics. Why? Because the Celtics had a terrible year last year. We are only a year removed from that last year. So 2 years ago, the Celtics swept those bitches in the first, first round, right? Like, why are the Sixers just a renowned, cemented, better team than the Celtics? That's puzzling to me, because they might not even have their second best player this year, right? And if they do get rid of him, they'll probably get a decent return. Who knows? But it's crazy to me that everyone, if you look on ESPN, Bleacher Report, any of these bigger sites, it's like, oh, the Sixers are way better than the Celtics. What are you talking about? What's the difference between their team 2 years ago and our team 2 years ago? There's been a lot of differences, but the trajectory of both teams, last year it took the Celtics the worst of worst seasons to be a 7th seed, right? In a play-in game. Like, it's crazy to me that people just, announce that the Sixers are better than the Celtics because of one season. It's kind of annoying. Tiffany saying don't want Brad Stevens as a coach either. Phil saying Levine's a better defender than Beal as well. Wangi says, do you think how Beal would fit on the team would put Brad off of signing/trading for him? No. I think Brad Stevens, if he's a good GM, he knows that talent's going to win championships. Like, that's what's going to, if Brad Stevens like, I'd be annoyed if Brad Stevens' idea is, oh, this is you know, he's not going to fit here. That's why we don't bring in Bradley Beal, one of the best scorers in the league. I wouldn't like that. I mean, if they can make Bradley Beal work, get him. Foster says the C's need to bring their hat on defense. This is what will make them great, and the team finds it very hard to score on them. Yeah, and that's, you get Schroeder, you get Al Horford, you get Josh Richardson. You're getting all these good defenders here. You have Marcus Smart, you have Tatum and Brown, who are unbelievably underrated defensively. 100%. They could win games on defense here. You know, I think Wongi, it was you last stream being like, is defense going to be the best offense? Like, this team is built for defense and offense. Like, people are sleeping on this team. 1,000,000%. Absolutely sleeping on it. But, all right, guys, we have shotgunned. We have had, I was going to say we've had, I was going to lie. I at least have to finish this beer before we get off stream. So you guys probably got another few minutes. I was going to sign off here, but maybe we'll make a dent in this. I also have to go to the bathroom. I have to pee like a racehorse after that shotgun, but we're battling through it, you know? We're playing injured. It's a Jordan flu game for me. Gear says, if any of you guys are Patriots fans, be sure to tune in for the 1 o'clock game tomorrow versus the Texans, the post-game show. Yeah, guys, like I said, we've grinded for this YouTube channel. Now, you know me. I love the Celtics. I do love the Patriots. You know, the Red Sox and Bruins are kind of distant seconds to them. But we've put in a lot of effort on this YouTube channel. And KJ has taken on that lead of being he's going to be the me of the Patriots, right? Last stream he had was a record-breaking stream, numbers-wise and whatnot, for the Patriots. If you guys are Patriots fans, make sure to tune in right after the game for the Patriots post-game. He does a great job. You guys know him. He fills in for me when I can't be around either. So make sure to tune in for that. GG says, I don't want Brad Stevens to coach either. I was a big Fire Brad guy, but I'm not going to ignore the new coach has yet to coach a regular season game. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. That's a fair point because Brad Stevens was a very successful coach for us. It's just the last couple years, like all of a sudden you started to really notice issues, right? Udoka hasn't done anything for this team. I mean, hey, he's an undefeated coach for the Celtics, right? But yeah, I can give you that, you know, we did start to sour on Brad Stevens, but Udoka hasn't done much. Brian saying the Celtics should have tried to get Alexius Puzevsky. You guys know I can't pronounce names, but I do know who you're talking about there, Brian. He's tall too. I was gonna say he's like 7 feet, but he's like a wing player, and he's super young and raw. That'd be great. That might have been the last burp from the shotgun there. Guys, we're finishing this beer and then signing off. I'm tired. I gotta pee. My stomach is filled. Phil says 10 more beers to go. I don't think so. I don't think so. This is a fun stream, though. And I can't thank Gear enough for the $4.99. And then, obviously, there's a little bit of back and forth here with me and Dabs here. Dabs had a spiteful donation, but I do appreciate the hell out of it. But, you know, the $10 for the shotgun, that's a transaction that I don't know if I'm regretting, but, you know, I do appreciate the $10. It's super, super supportive, guys. And there she blows. All right, guys, we are going to sign off. You guys are still here. If you are new, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're back here live after every single Celtics game. I can't promise a shotgun after every single game, but when we're on the weekends, we're not afraid to throw a few back. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and yeah, tune in here live for every single Celtics game, both pre and post. I'm here for the post game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gear saying I like the hat. This is one of my one of my newest Celtics retro hats. I'm all over eBay. Bidding on and trying to get Celtics retro hats. I love it. It's like a obsession of mine. Dabs, I know it's all love, man. No, don't you worry. I don't, Dabs, it's all love. I know that. But I will catch you guys in the next stream. I cannot wait for it. The Celtics team is looking pretty damn good. The bench is looking good. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Yeah, peace out.